Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. I'm Chance Ellison. Joining me, my co-hosts Jacob London and Jeffrey Kahn. Tonight, we are taking a break from sinners, consuming every fiber of our beings.
And NBA playoffs. And NBA playoffs, sorry.
And NBA playoffs, which,
well,
God, if what I think is going to happen happens, and what looks like it's going to happen happens, and the Lakers do lose this first round, oh, Jacob, I'm never going to forget that.
I mean, they're winning right now, so
they're winning right now. But you know this team.
It was game one.
It's still first quarter.
Game one. All right.
You're really holding on hope. You're really holding on hope.
If that happens.
No, I'd be fine with it because I don't like the Lakers, so I'll be fine with it.
Even if the Lakers bottom out and lose a series, they still won the trade.
They still probably won it.
Oh God, yeah. Oh God.
Okay, so I'm sorry. Can we talk about that for a second? I know that's not the talk, but we got to talk about Dallas and Nico Harrison right now. Because Nico Harrison,
like how we don't have any NFL news this week, but let's just talk about the NBA.
Let's just talk more about this.
So embarrassing.
Yeah. So, Nico Harrison, of course, the architect of the trade that made us all go, huh? Recently came out of a press conference after his team lost the play-in to be on the playoffs.
You missed You missed the other story beforehand, which is he did a press conference last week, but no media were allowed to record and no media video or have any audio recording because only take notes, and we now know why.
Yeah. Okay. So just preface that. So few things Nico said that we're just like, oh dear God, no, don't say that. One of which was he said he quote unquote has done a great job in Dallas. Secondly, that he did not understand how important to the franchise, to the fans, Luka Doncic was. Thirdly, he said, look, we will be competing for a championship next year. That's 1, 2, 3 lies. Back to back.
Congratulations, Kyrie Irving, on your max contract that you now are going to have with the Dallas Mavericks. Because guess what? He just said, "Oh, if we had Kyrie, we'd be a championship team." Cool. Kyrie's just going to go, well, you don't have me.
Then pay me like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, now that we've had some time, I know we haven't had a ton of time, but that's going to come years later. We've had some time to evaluate the trade in the short term because Jacob, you were quoted as saying, "I think this year it makes Dallas better."
I
that was before Kyrie got hurt.
That was before Kyrie got hurt.
So.
Look,
there was that count.
I thought, so I think on the ultra short term, it might make the Mavs a better team by having an incredible defense with AD plus Kyrie getting you making up the defense, making up for Luka's defensive deficiencies. So let's say that's about 6 or 7 points, and then Kyrie having the other points. I was like, okay, maybe you're making up a little bit there, and you could maybe do something with that. Then Kyrie got hurt, and I was like, okay, well, that's over. That's not going to happen.
First AD got hurt, and it's very.
He also got hurt.
Yeah, 2 games in, 2 quarters in.
2 quarters in. He didn't make it 2 games. 2 quarters, and he got hurt.
He gets hurt, and he's done for the year, and then, for most of the year.
My favorite part was watching games. Every time AD got hurt, cameraman somehow always managed to find Nico Harrison.
Yeah. Oh, they knew where he was.
They knew. It's your first job as a cameraman. Know where he is. So you can cut.
It's funny. I was talking to when we were driving back from Vegas, I was talking to Taylor about if it kind of fell along this, and this is I'm going to tie it into the NFL so we can technically say that this is an NFL conversation. Patrick, for whatever reason whatsoever, just but not football related and not personality related. So it's not like an Aaron Rodgers situation. It's just the Chiefs are done with him. For some reason, Patrick Mahomes is available. Is every team trading him, or is it any other team that is not who's putting their hand up and say we're not willing to?
I think there are a few. I think there are a few teams that like don't feel the need to make a trade for
The
Mahomes.
Ravens probably don't.
Ravens, the Bills. I don't.
The Bills out of
think
spite.
I think the Ravens were one I was like I don't think they could. The
Bengals probably.
Bengals I think would, because it saves them cap space because he's on a better contract.
That's
like
true.
just straight on a better contract than Burrows. The Bills, I think go thank you, no, but no thank you, because it would cause a civil war within the
It literally was.
space and the locker room.
Yeah,
Like I just think it would be one of those. This isn't worth a deal with the.
It would be hilarious if they traded like, say the trade was like Josh and a first. Sorry, say the trade was Josh, 2 firsts and a first round pick swap for Patrick Mahomes. And like it's like Mahomes goes to the Bills, and like then Allen goes to the Chiefs, and then the Chiefs start losing the Bills in the playoffs.
What I actually think would end up happening is the Chiefs still win. But anyway, because I think it's got more to do with Andy. I think it's got a lot to do with Andy Reid. I think if Andy Reid's there, it's a big deal. But anyway, but going back to the NBA, this is.
At this point, I don't know what Dallas natives want more. Do they want Nico Harrison fired? Or do they want in the Cowboys ring? I genuinely think it could be Nico Harrison fired.
There's still hope that Nico gets fired.
But, just real quick on NBA, I just want to mention Grizzlies. Congratulations on your early funeral. And as a Suns,
a lot of coaches got fired right before the playoffs.
Yeah, as a Suns fan, this has the Bucks Pacers series has been our worst nightmare because Giannis is going to ask out. There's no chance Giannis is a Buck next year, and suddenly we had, as a Suns fan, we had the hottest free agency available in Durant. It's now going to be Giannis. And
Well, at the same time, like I do wonder if at that point would Dame ask out.
I don't know who takes Dame on the I think Dame has lost a lot of his value.
Yeah, well, he has his hands healthy, but like a healthy Dame is actually like still
Dame coming off a blood clot.
Yeah,
and like coming off the blood clot. And look, I think Dame got a lot of he's great, but Portland's so bad, and now he's gone to the Bucks, and it's like, is he that great? As in, like, still not like. Not trying to like. Is he still, because we just put him with an all-time great player and they've not been good. So
it also could that just could be like a chemistry thing. Like
maybe it could be.
We also know that like that's not where he wanted to go.
Yeah, he wanted to go to the Heat.
Go to the Heat, and I genuinely do think like I don't know if Butler's on the Warriors next year. I could see him being on the Warriors, but like. I genuinely think he will have better on-court chemistry with Jimmy Butler than he does currently with Giannis.
Yeah.
So that could alleviate a lot of that problem. I think
if they get rid of Dame, Giannis is it's even more of a reason. Oh, well, I'm definitely done.
No,
Bucks, you guys could be in a full-blown rebuild.
This is what happens when you try and bring on Doc Rivers.
Yeah. Just ask Philly.
Ask Philly, ask Los Angeles.
Ask Boston. Sorry, ask Boston. Ask Boston. And like they were in the wilderness until very recently. But yeah. Anyway, all right, let's actually start talking about the NFL.
Anyway.
Yeah, so the NFL draft starts this Thursday. Again, 3 days of drafting, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Today we are going to be doing our mock draft of the first round and just trying to see like how we think the first round is going to shake up. Because will there be surprises? Absolutely. Are there going to be some team who do make picks and will be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Yes. Trades, probably. But we're going to see how it all shakes out on draft day. So yeah, but like we're going to make our best predictions as to how this is going to shake out right now. We're not doing trades in the first round.
Nah.
Most
This
people
is
like
hard to
this.
predict.
Too hard to predict. Also, like this is the first time first time in a while, every team's had their own first round pick.
So first
Yeah.
time we've gone into a draft day since 04 where everyone has it. If there are no
If that
trades,
holds.
which I don't think will happen. I do
Unlikely.
think there are going to be trades. If
Yeah.
there are no trades, it will be the first time ever in the NFL draft. It's never happened before where 1 to 32 have
Everyone
picked
just makes
their
their
own
pick.
team. Like it's been their own team. It's never happened before. There's always been at least one trade, but it's, at least since the modern draft, since like the actual modern draft started. So yeah.
All right. Well, yeah.
All
Let's get into it. We have our mock draft pulled up here.
Are we going with what teams should do, or what we think they'll do?
I think it's what we think they're going to do.
What we think they're going to
do.
Okay. And we'll talk about what they should.
What we think they should do. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So yeah, up first, Tennessee Titans. I think this pick is what they should do, what they will do. They're going to take Cam Ward.
Yeah. Look, you're taking your unfortunate reality is you're taking probably the 6th or 7th best quarterback from the last 2 years, but it's you have to do right now. He's the best quarterback currently available. Yeah. You need a quarterback.
You also I know it'd be easy to say like take the best player available, like take next year for Arch. You can never guarantee you're going to be at this position.
Right, there's no guarantee.
No,
anywhere.
You can't, and you also can't guarantee that Arch isn't going to do his ACL this year. Arch isn't going to do. You know what? Like, there's no guarantee.
You also can't guarantee Arch isn't going to like go for another year. I think it'd be so funny if like all these teams try and like
tank for Arch,
tank for Arch, and he stays in the NFL.
Well, I mean,
look, it is very possible that he does that, especially if Texas get close to another championship, or or the opposite happens. Texas don't get close at all, and they're terrible because he has a rough year. He might stay another year because I'm still learning. I still need to learn. So we'll see. Yeah. But absolutely, first overall, it's going Cam Ward.
Yep. All right. Yes, Cam Ward. Up next, the Cleveland Browns. This one's
going to be a mistake.
Really? Well,
Browns and mistakes? No.
It is the Browns, so that'd be very in character. But what do you think?
They're going to draft Travis Hunter?
Yeah, that's what I think.
I think they should draft Carter.
See, I agree with you. I do agree with you.
Yeah.
Because I think the idea of Abdul Carter and Myles Garrett on the same line
is terrifying. It is terrifying.
Question is, do we think the Browns are smart enough to recognize that?
No, because all reports right now
the allure of Travis Hunter.
They are taking Hunter. They are going to take Travis Hunter. Yeah, and I think Carter on this defensive line, when without question you have the worst quarterback room in that division. Assuming the Steelers draft somebody, but even with Mason Rudolph, maybe they fucking are better than
Kenny Pickett.
So I mean, we'll see. But
Kenny Pickett, old man Flacco, and with Deshaun Massachusetts Watson.
Yeah, like that's the current quarterback room in the Browns. So you need to have
might as well have
what
a really
I think
good defense.
is an absolute elite defense, and with Carter and Garrett. That defense could legitimately be terrifying. I just don't think they're going to do it. Don't get me wrong. Travis Hunter is going to be a fantastic player, but I do think I'm playing corner and I'm playing wide receiver is going to hurt him as a player.
If he genuinely does want to do that, I'm counting on injury by week.
That's true. Because you're playing so much, and you're.
I think there's going to be injury concerns. There's going to, and then I think what I think is going to end up happening is. He will recognize. I do think he will recognize. Okay, I can't do this. I'm going to pull back a little bit, and then cool. We use the number 2 overall on a what probably should have been the 10th or 11th pick for a corner, or the 20th or 25th pick for a wide receiver. Like the reason he is so highly considered right now is because he's like, you're getting both. You're not. You're getting one of them. Like at some point, you are only getting one, and it's just a matter of when that is. So They are going to draft Travis Hunter. I just think it's going to be a mistake for the Cleveland Browns.
No, I do contend with that.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, like I think Travis Hunter, what they do, I think. I mean, God bless him, because I don't want to deal with Myles Garrett and Alvin Kamara on the same line. But,
Fair. Yeah.
but yeah.
To make the wrong pick. So,
All right.
Giants, this one, they could go a lot of different areas. I think that the next two picks are definitely going to be Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter. And I think the Giants are just going to figure out like which one, whoever the Browns, whoever Cleveland doesn't take, that's the Giants.
The draft starts here. Like realistically, the draft does start here. Now I think we're all in agreement now. They're not taking Shedeur. Like
they want to sign Russell
after
Wilson.
Signing Jameis.
Shedeur is not going to the Giants. So it would be a shock. Like if
they could still do it.
If on Thursday they went, he read Shedeur Sanders to the Giants, I wouldn't be like
that came out of nowhere.
That came out of nowhere. But it wouldn't be like the Falcons last year.
No,
but it would be kind of one of those like, wow, that's a mistake. Like, I really think that it would be a mistake. The reports that came out this week, though, that the Giants are interested in trading this pick, it's not going to happen. The team that needs to, if this pick is available right now, team that needs to just say fuck it and make the phone call and give up 2 firsts and a second, the Bengals need to call right now and say 2 firsts and a second.
Get Abdul Carter. Yeah.
Go get Carter. You got to build that defense.
They definitely need him.
You need to build that defense, and you need to build it cheap. And you're all in right now. So if I was the Bengals, that's what I would be doing, because I think you are all in right now, and you have to make a move. Fuck the picks. Like, honestly, like
you might as well mortgage your future because you're already doing it.
But that's what I mean. Like, what is a first 2 years from now? What is it? It's like, and the Giants honestly, the Giants might even prefer that, because, well, 2 years from now, the Bengals are probably going to be bad. So we'll take that one instead of next year's. Do you know what I mean? Like, they might be more willing to take one a bit further down the line because the Bengals are going to be bad at that point.
But yeah, I do think that we're saying the Giants stay here. I think Abdul Carter, once again, like that. A front four consisting of Brian Burns, Sexy, Abdul Carter, and Kayvon Thibodeau. Yeah. That does go a lot of, especially
if they do, they're a sneaky for the playoffs. If they get Carter, and Carter is Carter, who he was,
and get competent quarterback play. Yeah.
No, well, that's the thing. Okay, so last year, look, for all the shit I gave Chance and Russell Wilson over the last 3 years, he is a better quarterback than Daniel Jones.
Yes.
All right. Like, he is,
he's more of a steady hand.
If you get Carter, that is one of the best defensive lines, if not the best defensive line in football. If Carter does live up to his draft potential.
Well, especially considering that you have to deal with Jalen Hurts and you have to deal with that Eagle offensive line. You have to deal with Jaden Daniels. The Cowboys now very vulnerable considering their entire offensive line. It's just well, it's because like their entire offensive line is kind of like retired or fucked off. So
but look, the Giants won a Super Bowl like this in 2007, and they beat the greatest team of all time. Is it like, because is Russell?
Right, we're not saying Super Bowl, but we're saying
no. But like, okay,
playoffs, yeah.
I'm like, in all seriousness, is Russell Wilson right now worse than Eli Manning was in 2007?
No.
Close,
is he majorly worse?
No, not majorly. No.
Like,
it's close.
The Giants, if they grab Carter, the Giants are sneaky. The Giants are really a sneaky, not to win the Super Bowl. I'm not saying to win the Super Bowl, but I don't think they're going to be a top. I don't think they're going to be drafting in the top 5 next year. I'll put that much. I don't. I think, I think it's great for them because it's kind of it's going to be great for their team this year, and then they're going to realize, oh fuck, we don't have a quarterback. What do we do now? Like when this whole tank for Arch isn't going to work.
It doesn't work. Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, so anyways, we're taking Carter at
Yep.
3.
Carter at 3.
All right. Draft starts now. Patriots.
Look, I think the mantra for this draft for the Patriots should be help Drake May not die.
So O-line.
Yeah. And I think they go with Will Campbell.
Yeah, I do too. This is Will Campbell. This is a team that is desperate to trade back, but they're just not going to because there isn't that play. Like they're really hoping that someone falls in love with Ashton Genty and is like, "Oh yeah, we'll go."
Oh, yeah, we'll
trade up to the 4. We'll trade up to 4 to get Ashton Genty. They're praying that someone does that. I don't think anyone is, and they're just going to have to.
That high.
And they're going to have to draft Will Campbell here at number 4. And it's just going to be like, God damn it. No one else would have grabbed him until like 6 or 7.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, like I think I still like Will Campbell. Yes, I know you can talk about his arm length, but like the dude was like a beast. Dude was a beast in the SEC, so I would feel comfortable taking Campbell on this pick.
Yeah. All right. This is where I get. So who we got? The Jags.
What are they going to do? Defense, probably.
I think defense. I think this is where Mason Graham lands. Like Mason, Mason Graham help the defensive interior. You could pick. I think that he's probably the best defender on the board at this point. So I think this is a case where like you just need to take the best available, and like that Jags defense was pretty hard last year.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if this was Genty. They've got.
I would be shocked if this was Genty. I would be a little shocked.
That would signal that they're done with Travis Etienne and take whatever they were trying.
But also, it's not just that. They also have Tank Bigsby, who like did do really well for him last year.
Came up towards the end, yeah.
He did. So
you would think they don't draft a running back, but who knows?
Yeah, I mean, look, if Balky was still here, I'd say maybe, but he's no longer he's no longer with us. So.
A little more clarity.
That's fair.
So yeah,
right.
I do think it's Mason Graham.
All right. Raiders.
I think this is a good lineup for Genty.
Yeah,
because their running backs right now suck.
Now for the trade up, something I could see happening. Talk about the trade page want to trade back. I could see them trading up, the Bears trading to 4 because they want Genty.
Yeah, that's true. That's that I could see that one where they're like, all right, let's go get Genty. And because I do think that they have to get in front of the Raiders.
Yes,
I do think the Raiders. Yeah. If you're going to, the Raiders are who you have to be in front of. But yeah,
like if anything's going to trade up to take Genty, it's going to be the Bears. But here's my draft hot take. I don't think Genty pans out. Yeah, I think Genty is going to be a colossal mistake.
I think Genty's going to have the problem that Saquon did on the Giants. Great player, terrible O-line. And you're going to get drafted by a bad team, and there's just nothing you can do about it.
Genty for me screams like Ricky Williams or Reggie Bush or like these guys who were like incredible in college, but just like in the NFL just do not pan out. And like because like
not to the level you expect.
That's the level you expect. Yeah. I mean, like both those guys solid, but also like the people like treat him like Genty, like he's like this could be like this game record. But you look at who he played last year, like who Boise State played last year, not really that impressive. Like you look at what he did against Penn State in the playoffs, like didn't really do much of anything in that game. So yeah, like that gave me a lot of pause with Genty, but I do still think that team will be enamored enough to take him in the top 10. So I do think if he was over for the Raiders are going to take him
easily. Pete Carroll.
All right. Genty, here we go. Pete Carroll getting his
running back of the future.
Yeah.
For however long he keeps coaching.
All right. The Jets, they gotta go O-line.
I've seen a lot of Tyler Warren to the Jets. I'm like, wow.
Seems too high. Seems a little too
high. I think Armand. Like they gotta go tackle.
Yeah, Membu. I think Membu's the pick here.
Yeah.
But at least Fields is more mobile than Rodgers.
He is, you cannot put Fields behind.
Fields did get sacked a lot in Chicago.
Like the thing is, Fields isn't your QB of the future unless he balls out this year. He isn't. So you've got to build that line.
Sure. Yeah.
For whoever your QB of the future is. So yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, Membu, solid pick.
All right.
Panthers were an interesting one.
This isn't. There's several ways this could go. I think I wouldn't be shocked if this is McMillan.
I wouldn't either.
I wouldn't. They probably need another receiver.
Yeah.
Well, mostly because like when your number one receiver is the geriatric Adam Thielen,
and Lee Gett didn't really pan out last year.
And they need to get him something, and they didn't really do anything in free agency. You're kind of in that and
you want if you want Bryce Young to succeed, yeah, you got to.
Well, you're also in the, not that I think they're going to pay him, but they're in the, we need to know if we're going to pay you yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, are we at least giving you the 5th year option year? So all right, you got to go see what's happening with him. So I think going to get him a weapon is better than using it on like a O lineman or something.
Now, here's my question: do we think the Steelers trade into the first round again? Now they keep 21, but then they trade up to here to take T-Mac too.
You also
hey, just be thankful. Just be thankful he doesn't drop. Look, you need to be thankful because there's that number 11 and number 12 that he could drop to, and you don't want him going to either of those teams. You're fine with him being a
within the division. You don't want to go to within the division either.
I'm so sorry, Team Mac, but yes, I am sensing the Panthers for your own good.
I actually don't think this would be bad for him either.
No, I don't think so because he gets a young quarterback. He gets a good
coach.
Yeah.
He's got a really good coach. I think this is actually going to work out pretty well for everyone involved. So because Chance, you really don't want either of these boys.
I've seen a lot of
49ers would.
I've seen a lot of mocks with him going to the Cowboys.
I have to because I don't think he's getting past 8. And that's my thing. I don't.
Well, at the same time, we'll talk about it later. But I don't think even if he was on the board, I don't think Dallas would take him. So there's someone else I think they would take instead. So we'll get there. Number 9. This one's interesting because
the Saints. Because after recent news,
the Derek Carr news means I think they might be one. They might go take Shedeur at this point.
Well, it's either this or their second round pick. I don't.
So here's my thing with Shedeur here. You're right. I could see this to me is the first realistic option that Shedeur could go, where it's where I would be a little surprised if he didn't. I also wonder, are the Saints just in a tanking year? Are they just we're tanking because we know that our salary cap is such a disaster right now that there is no point, and we're gonna and if we draft a quarterback right now, we're gonna ruin the kid. And are they will? And that's why they're all right, we'll just go with a backup for the season, and
they might just wait till the second round and take Jackson Dart.
Well, yeah, or they do that instead, where they're we're just going to use a second or a third rounder on someone, take someone late, use them for the season, and if we get lucky with them, great. If we don't,
if not,
then when we've got the 1, 2, or 3 next year, and we can go get someone. It could be a Manning, it could be whatever quarterback from college this year shines. Because who had Cam Ward as the number 1 pick last year? So that I think that's more of a possibility for the Saints right now, as a team because I do think especially given Mike, I think Mike McCarthy was told in his interview, we're tanking, and that's why he went, yeah, I'm good. I don't need to come
Oh,
here.
okay, good.
And that's why I think because Mike McCarthy knew I've got one more shot at head coach, and I can't go to a tanking team.
So say they don't. What do we have to do? Is it
they don't go quarterback? Where do they go?
I think they go defense. Walter Nolan maybe.
Yeah, I think this could be the Walter Nolan.
I do think they take Shedeur. They panic and take Shedeur. But
they could panic. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, do you want to do the fun draft where Shador keeps falling, or do you want to do the one where he's here now and
You want to make it hard at 21.
Let's have fun. We'll be fun.
all right, let's have some
do the
fun.
pick. Okay.
We'll have fun.
Don't take our word as gospel.
Yeah.
But I think we can all agree like that pick is going to determine the landscape
Oh,
Where
of
the
the
rest
draft.
of the draft goes.
That's the next big. All right, like pay attention draft. That's the next one where it's like, okay, before then you're kind of going to have a lot of we think we know where these are going, and then this is that's the first or probably the second one where it's
First
like,
domino.
we got a 50-50. Yeah.
The Bears.
Bears are tough because I think they're preying on Genty to fall or trying to trade up.
Yeah, they need a running back.
They already invested in O-line, so probably not O-line.
Like if Genty's not available, I don't think they're taking a running back at all in the first round.
That's true.
No,
That's true.
Yeah.
Starks potentially. Like they need a safety. Like they do need help on defense.
Starks, I could
He'd
see.
be the best player available at that point, most likely. If Genty's gone, I could see it.
I could see Stark getting on the board here.
All right, 49ers.
This is another team I think that could very easily go defense.
Yeah. I think they probably need an edge.
Edge or corner.
Yeah.
I think it's either Mike Green or Jade Barron.
So we got Mike Green.
And honestly, I think with Charvarius Ward leaving and him
So
being
corner.
such an integral part of that defense, I think they go Jade Barron.
All right. I'm happy with that.
All right, Dallas Cowboys. I do think this is another year where Jerry Jones goes for the sexy pick. Although here I don't think it's
sexy
Who will be the pick now if Genty's gone? Yeah.
So here's my thing. I think that if even if McMillan on the board, I think they go for Matthew Golden out of Texas. Like Jerry Jones, he likes players from Texas. He's had a ton of visits with Dallas, and they do need a receiver. I don't think Golden might be seen as an overdraft, but I don't think the gap between T-Mac and Golden is that vast. So I could see Golden going here.
Yeah. I mean, they need a number two. They
do.
desperately
Really.
need a number two. So, yeah. It'd be
It'd be a little bit of an overpay.
If Genty's gone, I could see them trading back. But the problem we're going to have with this draft is there's a lot of teams you want to trade back and not very many you want to trade.
You can't all do it.
It's kind of one of those.
After you.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of
someone
people
has to
like,
pick.
we really don't want to be this high.
Right.
Yeah, and it's kind of going to be, well, someone's got to be. So, yeah.
Somebody's got to pick.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of overdrafts this year, I think, and it's just going to be a fault of It's because realistically, there's probably maybe 10 first-round draft picks this year, legit first-round draft pick, talent-wise, and the rest are all kind of second or third, but they're going to have to go in the first because 32 teams.
Yeah. But yeah, that. This is my big prediction for the draft. I think even if the Cowboys had their pick of any wide receiver they want, they'd still take Golden. They still take Golden over T-Mac, which I think is a mistake. But that's it is Jerry Jones.
That's fair.
Dolphins. I think you got to go O-line here.
After Armstead retired as well.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they went corner.
Corner would make a lot of
Ramsey's up for
sense.
trade as well. Sure.
Yeah.
They need to go O-line.
They need both. They need both.
But I could see them going corner, and if Johnson's available.
So my pick for Dolphins here would be who's the best lineman available? Either Josh Simmons or Kellen Banks. Probably Simmons. But that would be my pick. Jacob, maybe you feel differently. Are you saying?
I'd lean O-line
Golden.
over corner.
I think Johnson. I just think they need. I think they would. I think they would be looking more at corner. But I think given who's currently on the trade block from the Dolphins, I know he's a safety, but like that defense is getting a little thin, and they'll probably want to boost it. That being said, you are right. You're also, if you're in, realistically though, if you're the Dolphins and you're thinking, in our division, what wide receivers do we currently have to deal with? Not that many. Like realistically, like you have to deal with Josh. You have to deal with Josh, but the number one wide receivers in the other three teams, like Wilson's the best one by a significant margin. Like he's really easily the best by a significant margin. And then the Patriots' number one is Diggs, which is a number 3 on every other team in the league. And
Shakir, who's not like a
Shakir.
Also number 3 on any other team in the league.
Yeah, also mostly number 3.
He's number 2 on every other team in the league. On most teams in the league, he'd be number 2. Like, and then look, I love Shakir, but he's not he's not a number 1. He's not a genuine bona fide number 1. No. So I could understand them being like, all right, but
really need corners much.
But the thing that our division is known for is, the Bills, one of the best defensive lines in football. The Jets, a really good defensive line. The Patriots, building a really scary defensive line. So you're probably right. Actually, Simmons would be.
We have the most injury-prone quarterbacks.
Yeah,
Simmons would be a good pick. So they're going to pick the cornerback because the Dolphins are a dumb organization.
We won't be dumb.
Are we having fun? Are we
pretending they're dumb?
No, I'll let you pick Simmons because Simmons is probably the right pick, and it's more All right.
We'll be smart. We'll be dumb.
All right. Colts. I think this is our first tight end. Yeah, I think. Well, because like the Colts have like maybe the worst tight end room in the NFL.
Can you name the starting tight end for that?
It might be Mo Ali Cox, might be Albert Akogbanam or someone.
Yeah, great.
But yes, I think that this is where I think Tyler Warren is actually like a really good tight end prospect. So I do think the Colts, if he's here at 14, which he should be.
He should be. I can't imagine anyone picking him before.
Who else would take tight end that room?
If it's gonna be anybody's gonna be the Jets, which I think would be a colossal mistake.
Yeah, well, that's because they didn't. Especially given last year, they didn't go for the sexy pick last year. They went for the smart pick, and they probably regret it after how well what he played on the Raiders. Bowers played on the Raiders, they probably regret it. So they're like, all right, let's go for the sexy pick now. And it's like, well, no, you still need to build that goddamn O-line. However, the Jets do sound like they've actually got somewhat competent ownership at the moment. So, management. So ownership's still not
definitely not ownership. Definitely not ownership.
GM and coach are sounding competent, which I don't like. So,
But yeah, so I do think it's a Tyler Warren landing spot for Indy.
I agree.
All right,
I agree.
Falcons. Shedeur Sanders.
Who's gonna make a speaking of dumb picks?
What are the Falcons gonna do this year?
Notoriously making the dumb pick.
They need to build this defense, but they're probably gonna go offense because they're dumb.
Because they just can't pick defense in the first round.
Right.
Like they can't be this stupid to go another year not picking a defensive line.
We say it every year.
I know we say it every year, but like seriously, the Falcons have the worst pass rush of any team in the NFL.
If what we have said holds, which again, probably not, but if it does, and if Mike Green is available for the Falcons to draft at 15 and they don't take him, I swear to God.
Someone's getting fired.
Someone's getting misled.
If Mike Green falls here, they have to take him. It's just I'm sorry, you have to take him. The sneaky that I could see though, just talking with the Colts, if Mike Green is available for the Colts there, the Bengals trade up. Three spots to get in front of the Falcons because everyone's gonna because the Falcons have to take him.
I think there's a better pick for the Bengals, but yeah, the Falcons have to take Mike Green if he's there.
All right.
If the Falcons, they probably won't. But
No, they'll find some way to screw it up. But like,
We can hope.
it's if Mike Green is there. All right, Cardinals.
this
So
one
defense?
is tricky. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, okay, it's defense or it's O line. One of the two.
Yeah,
Is there any guard that's worth the first rounder? I could see them going Banks.
I think
Unless
Banks maybe. You're a defensive head coach though. This could be the Johnson pick.
right.
it very well could be the Johnson
You're
pick.
defensive minded head coach. You know, he's
You know,
not gonna
especially
they do
especially
need corner help.
considering they could use
They
corner,
could use corner help.
especially considering like there's not a lot of I don't think there's any interior O linemen that are worth the first round pick.
Yeah, I could see Johnson. I think you've got defensive head coach who has built a pretty good defense, but it needs some corner help.
Yeah. Okay.
and-
I can buy Johnson here.
Yeah, and also I think everyone kind of knows they're gonna get rid of Kyler before they get rid of him. At this point, I think
Yeah.
I'm not going to help build the defense. The offense. I'm going to help build the defense first because that's what I want. Like
And that's what I'm good at. Yeah.
if I can no, but that's what I mean. Like
Yeah.
because if if they lose games, hey, we lost games 7-10. Oh, that's
on the
Kyler's
offense.
fault.
Yeah,
Oh, that's on
Kyler's
Kyler.
fault.
That's on Kyler. That's on Kyler. Yeah. So I could really
Classic.
see him starting to put the oh hey,
I did my part.
yeah, I did my job. So
It's
anyway.
the Starship Troopers meme. I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part. I didn't do fucking shit.
All right. So who did you have for the Bengals? Because I think they do need to go defensive, but
So yeah, no, I
Yes,
did. But
that's
like, if the Cardinals didn't take Johnson, what happened taking Johnson?
yeah, that's fair.
I think they definitely need secondary help. Only thing at this point, they're probably going to have to reach a little bit.
Yeah.
To
You think not
probably
pass rush help? Because Trey Hendrickson's still not signed.
That's true. I mean, they could use pass rush help, but I think their secondary is in more dire need.
Fair.
Especially in that division.
And
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, they need help everywhere in the defense.
Well, maybe not so much that division, but more so that
the conference.
yeah. Got to deal. Yeah.
So I think it was to be Trey Amos at this point.
Fuck, that's a Jesus Christ. You're
So
right.
he's
that
a
is-
bit low.
It's a reach, but
Yeah, you're right. You kind of right. They're
Maybe
prime.
they
They're,
probably
a
trade
team, they're a team that actually do need to trade up. There's someone who really do need to be like, hey, we need to go get someone because even getting in front of the Falcons or like getting in front of the Falcons, getting in front of of
Cardinals. Teams that would most likely take defense.
yeah, like that, maybe they don't need to jump all the way up to 3 and go get Carter, but try and maybe get in front of the 49ers and get a
Yeah.
and have your, especially if like say the Jags don't grab a defensive player and we just do what we did last year and we just keep going offense and they get the best defensive player on the board and they can trade up with say the Saints even at that point and be like, well, you guys are going to draft your quarterback, no one else is drafting your quarterback, you know what I mean? Like, how about we swap? And they're like, yeah, cool. And they get up there and it's like, cool, we can go grab the best defensive player on the board. I could see that. Like that's something I could see the Bengals doing. Unfortunately, in this one, they're kind of screwed. So you're gonna have to grab. You're gonna definitely have to be reaching for him right now.
yeah, I'd say reach for Trey Amos.
Hope and a prayer.
Seattle, I think O line because
You're gonna have to with fucking Sam.
I think at this point it'd be Kelvin Banks.
Banks
Sure.
is probably
Sure.
your best bet.
Solid.
Do the Bucks have the ability to do a luxury pick?
Or your luxury
Go
pick.
what,
Dave.
receiver?
Burden.
Whoa. Well, they have 3 good wide receivers with McMillan.
They've got 2. Who's the third?
McMillan started to come out at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So I don't think they would go
Yeah,
another
it's a bit
receiver.
okay. That's a bit too much of a luxury.
Yeah, I think they have to go defense here.
Yeah, I was more thinking because Goodwin,
pretty set on offense,
good.
yeah.
I was more thinking because Goodwin's been very injury prone. So
That's fair.
like you might be like, well, got a bit of a luxury pick here. Let's.
I still think they try and like solidify that D line.
Yeah.
I would say as Iraku out of Boston College.
Sure. They did get Hassan Reg, but that was 1 year. So yeah.
It's true. Yeah.
Build it for the long term.
Okay, now for the Broncos, I think if any other team is going to take a running back in the first round, it's going to be them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, who's even
Hampton? Although they've already drafted a North Carolina running back.
Yeah, North Carolina running back. They didn't work out.
Didn't work out. Would they do it again?
Although I don't think Amari Hampton's a bit of a better caliber back than
Javonte
Williams was.
Look,
he should be.
They won't do Scatterboo this early. No chance.
No, not Scatterboo. Absolutely not.
No chance.
Not.
Like I do think Scatterboo does get drafted by someone, but there's no chance that it's this early.
No.
I think if another back gets drafted, it's going to be Amari and Hampton.
All right, let's do it. All right.
Here we go, and we have arrived.
Yeah, look, if he's available, I do think that Steelers do take Shedeur Sanders.
I do too. If he's available, I kind of think you have.
I get the knock on Sanders. The Sanders more like that point guard, game manager type. But like, I think for this team, that's not the worst thing in the world.
No.
Right.
But I think
2 good wide receivers.
Yeah, he has some solid weapons. We're building that O line. I think that you have a good coach in my timeline. I do think that.
Definitely helps.
I do think there are worse landing spots. I do think, if Sanders is here, I think that Steelers definitely do take a swing on him at 21.
Yeah, I think, I don't disagree with you at all. I think this is, if Sanders falls, this is as low as he is falling.
Yes.
Let's put it that way. I think this is as low as he goes. I don't think he gets past 21. Now, I didn't talk about we were just talking like, if they want to take a running back, like the Broncos, Broncos and Bucks, I think are prime examples of, hey, Rams, Steelers are about to take him. Do you want our pick? Because I think I think
you think the Rams would take Sanders?
That's what I mean. I think the Rams could. I think if
for the future,
for the right price to go up 7 spots for like a third, you know what I mean? Like if it was a pick swap and a third, Rams might seriously consider that. That hey, we can
just sit and learn for a year.
Sit in for a year behind Stafford. Because Stafford, like they were all ready to move off Stafford this year.
Yeah.
And somewhat preparing for it. So now it's at least a level of preparing for it. You'll get a really good, a potentially very good quarterback with a very good head coach. I think it's definitely a possibility that if the price is right, Bucks or Broncos could trade with the Rams. And I think that's the one. Yeah, I think that would be your one concern. If the Steelers did truly want Sanders, if they're like, yep, we're all in on Sanders, you may have to trade up 2 or 3 spots just to like cover the Rams. That's the one thing you might have to do.
Well, speaking, everyone trade back, but 2 teams want to trade up. So
there we go.
No, that's what I mean. I could very easily see. I wouldn't be surprised if on the 9.
No, I do agree. Like I think it's going to depend on how much Steelers are. How high they are on Sanders.
I think we will learn how much the Steelers like Sanders. When we get to when the Bucks pick, we will learn because I think the Bucks will. If the Bucks pick at that point, or if the Broncos pick at that point, and they don't, and we don't get, there's not the there's been a trade. The Steelers have moved up one spot. It's like, oh, okay, they're not as in on it as we thought, or they just didn't think the Rams were going to do it. It's one or the other. Like, we won't ever truly know, but I'm sure we'll hear leaks. But yeah.
So yeah, for the Chargers, definitely need another weapon just for Herbie.
Wide receiver.
Yeah.
Wide receiver, I could also see him taking, because Jim Harbaugh loves his boys, loves his Michigan boys.
Oh, Loveland.
I could see him taking Loveland. I think it's smarter to take Burden, but I'm not be surprised if they take Loveland.
They did jag the best wide receiver in late rounds last year in Conkey. Like they did jag that, so they might. You're right. They might feel a little bit more like, let's go tight end. So yeah, and he'd know more about them. You know what I mean? Like, he'd know more about that kid. So
the connections.
Yeah. So are we saying Colson Loveland?
Yeah,
Loveland.
Okay, now Packers. You cannot if Burden and Ibuka are on the board and they don't take them.
Here we go again.
Thing is, I feel like this could happen and they wouldn't take them.
I do too. I actually do. Here's the thing. If they, it's gonna sound really dumb. We've kind of said that Johnson is going to be a bit earlier and or like some of the we've kind of overdrafted corners a little bit earlier than a lot of teams than a lot of other drafts are doing. They're saying that they fall a bit later. If there is a corner available here, I wouldn't be surprised if they go corner.
Absolutely
like that's, I could see that. If there isn't a true corner available and these two are still here and they don't pick one of them, then I'm just gonna
throw your hands up.
I don't know what's happening.
What are you doing?
Yeah. What's going on? What are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah.
Between the two, which one do you think they would go with?
I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna say they won the championship, so I'm gonna go on Ibuka.
Yeah, I would say Ibuka.
Yeah.
Fair.
Although this is the Packers, so
it is.
Watch this be completely wrong.
For the Vikings, I think they do. I think they do go defensive interior. And I think they go with Kenneth Grant.
Grant.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're kind of. Yeah, they're kind of in a bit of a luck, take best player available, take like not luxury, but go with what we've got. You know what I mean? Like, they're not kind of in that. Oh, we have a real desperate need outside of potentially quarterback, but we don't know.
We'll see how it pans out next year.
What happens? So yeah, Grant's probably your best bet.
Yeah. Texans are in a weird spot because they desperately need O-line.
Yeah,
they do, but they also desperately need a wide receiver.
They do, but I think O-line's a more pressing need.
A little more pressing.
But with Tank out, and who do you grab at O-line now?
I think you got to reach for Greg Zabel or Conley.
Maybe, yeah.
Sometimes you got to reach.
You got to reach. Sometimes you got to give C.J. Stroud some time to throw.
Yeah,
they're a team I could see trading up in the draft to take an O-lineman.
Take a better O-lineman.
Yeah, I could see. Yeah,
because right now I think the best bet's Gray Zabel.
Yeah, right now it is. That's
guard.
Yeah,
I mean, they need help. I need O-line position.
For this pick, I am turning to the wisdom of one Brenda Song, because she did bring up a lot of interesting points. Because they do need. She does know ball. Brenda Song, come on the show. They do need help on the defense. They need a linebacker who can get in there and stop the run. I think this is where Jihad Campbell goes.
Yeah, I mean,
first real linebacker.
Yeah. If he falls this way, that's kind of one of those.
There's not a big demand for off-ball linebackers like that, so I could see him going a lot later.
If the Rams if the Rams don't take a quarterback, which is the thing, like because I think we're all in agreement here. I don't think there's outside of a trade back into the first with one of these lower ones.
There's only 2 quarterbacks going.
I think there's only 2 quarterbacks in the first round.
It's unless the Saints do take Sanders.
Yes, sorry, that's true. If the Saints do, then who do you are you Milrose or Dart?
Probably it sounds like Dart at this.
Yeah, I'd probably go Dart.
More and more like Dart. Yeah. So you buying a Jackson Dart jersey?
Probably not buying the jersey, but
I'm gonna wait a couple
Jackson
weeks.
Dart.
Steelers need a quarterback, but are in a rough position to get one. This sounds very familiar. I can't put a finger on it.
Yeah. Can't either.
I can't either. It all sounds very familiar, but I can't recall where I've seen this movie before. Well, guess we'll never know.
Yeah, if he's available here, there's a part of me that thinks the Rams, the Ravens, kind of need another weapon, but they also like.
My thing with the Ravens, I feel like their defense become a problem for the first time in a while.
Although it got better towards the end. Like it started rough. And
it
got
did
better.
start to get better, and they didn't lose anyone on coaching staff this year.
But I still feel like they're gonna have to try and like take the bull for that.
No, they probably you're not wrong. They probably do need to. I'm just more like, so what, Pierce? Or I actually think they go with Jalon Walker. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. Not Walker. I was like, is that a Pierce or Scorton? Probably Pierce, actually. Okay. Because like they're not within a really great distance for a corner, and you could throw on that team, unless they reach a bit from Morrison, which I could see happening. But I would still go Pierce. Okay. This probably does I think last year's defense is going to be just going to be kind of
we need to draft.
No, I think it was the injuries, and they're gonna go wide receiver here.
Do you think it's where Burden goes?
Whoever's left between Burden or Egbuka.
I think Burden ends up here.
I saw a rumor that they might trade Jameson. So if that happens,
that's what I mean. Like I think they're going. I think there is a very real hey, last year was on the injuries and not we have needs, because they had a ridiculous amount of injuries.
It does help to have
No, I know, but
but
when you've got Jared Goff, but Goff's limited. You kind of need to be like, all right, let's get him some more weapons to play with.
Yeah, I mean, I think here it's either whatever wide receivers left, or they go edge. One of the two. Yeah, because I could see Scorton going here too.
Yeah,
or Jalon Walker, because Campbellton is a very big off-ball linebacker guy. One of those first three is going here. I don't hate the Burden pick though. I could see I could see Burden.
Sexy pick.
So we go Durden.
Burden, yeah.
Tyler Durden? No.
You mean
Tyler Durden.
Leave Durden. Okay.
Burden, not Durden.
Yeah. All right. So up next, the Washington.
They're at.
Don't know where they go. Yeah.
This is probably
defense.
I think this is defense. I think they go defense here.
I think it is. I think it is too, especially given their head coach.
Yeah.
And outside they could go tackle, but I do think defense.
They trade for Tunsil.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Actually, no, you're right. They did.
Yeah.
So
I think they made a lot of moves for the offensive side of the ball, so they can.
So let's draft defense.
Yeah, they'll draft defense. I'm thinking Scorton.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Okay.
Bill, your boys. Now I have an idea of where they should go, but I want to hear what you think, Jacob.
We need a new safety. We need desperate help in safety.
No one wants to say it, but
We need desperate help in safety. No, I like in also okay. So like either corner or safety. I think that's really where we need to go.
I see. Like my thought is because Kyer Elam just did not pan out. I think you could go for Morrison.
Yeah, I think that's. I agree. Like I think that is probably our best bet. But yeah, we just like
any part of the secondary.
Yeah, we like secondary help is where we are going to throw a lot of money behind.
I mean, like the one thing you need to do in this pick, don't trade it with the fucking Chiefs.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, okay, I do want to say this though, but us, Chiefs, Eagles, one of us is trading with either the Giants or
maybe to trade back
or
in
the Browns.
Yeah,
one of us is trading with one of them.
It always happens.
Because they're going to want the 5th-year option if they go and get Dart or they go and get someone. Like I would be a little surprised if that didn't happen, to be honest.
Yeah, but for the scenario where they're not trading, I think Morris is actually like a pretty solid pick for you.
Yep.
Sure.
Okay, so where's the number 9,000?
We're giving the worst. We're giving the worst pick in the draft.
Who is the absolute worst?
Who's the one who should not?
How about kicker? Here? Let's go kicker.
Yeah, let's go kicker. Round 1.
So the last rated player is a punter.
No, actually, here we go. Hang on. No, they're gonna grab a quarterback because why not?
It's so spiteful.
Jackson Dart.
No, they'll draft Jackson Mahomes.
They're probably gonna either go Connolly or Walker.
O-line.
Oh, I think they're going Connolly for sure because after what just happened in the Super Bowl, they're going O-line. You cannot throw out Juwan Taylor again this season. So.
Nope.
Especially with who's the Joe Tooney getting traded to the Bears, you need O-line help.
Yeah. Look, okay. If this all happens, Eagles are 100% trading this pick. Doesn't matter who to. Like, they are trading this. Without it, they are picking the best player available. They've got the closest need right now they potentially have is wide receiver. If there is a little bit of a is there something between Jalen and what's his name?
AJ.
And AJ. I don't think there is. And that'll tell us kind of what we, as a potential. But
there's no other first round worthy tight end, right? Because there were rumblings that they might trade Goddard. But,
it was just Colston and
Warren.
Warren.
Forget that. But
I actually think they go because their defense lost some key contributors. I would go with Shamar Stewart.
Yeah, makes sense. All right, here we go. Oh, we're getting a draft grade.
So now place your bets. Place your bets now. All of this will happen.
All this will happen.
We have predicted the future.
Oh, we didn't get a grade. Damn it! All right.
No, I'm not. I'm not paying.
Pay for it. You got to pay for it.
Paying to get a grade.
Screw that.
All right.
But yeah, this is our prediction. I mean, like some we took some liberties. We had to be a little more fun, opposed to being more sensible. But I do think that there are a few picks that are going to determine how this draft is going to go. Mainly that number 9. The number 9 pick is going to determine what the hell's going to happen.
9's the big one.
A focal point.
Yeah, 9 is the big one. After 9, I think
the Steelers.
So after 9, if Shador gets past 9, and then a couple of the defensive players are still available, then that 13 and 14 pick become very nice to be traded. I think those two start becoming, hey, you can bounce off those. And then if Shador is still available at 19 with the Bucks, they're going to start playing around with that pick and being like, hey, who wants it? Because the Steelers are going to take it otherwise. So
Yeah.
who wants it? And
Fall like Bo Kelly.
Yeah. But,
yeah. Who went to Shadur's birthday party?
Probably a lot of people.
Like I said, be prepared. This is going to feel like the Aaron Rodgers draft, where they're going to cut to Aaron Rodgers a lot, to Shador Sanders sitting there a lot, and be like, and he keeps falling. Even though we all know it's coming, know it's coming, but it's going to happen. Of like, Shador's going to keep falling and keep falling and keep falling and keep falling, and suddenly it's going to be like, oh god. I do think he gets picked on Thursday. I would be shocked if
he's not falling out of the first round.
He's not Will Levis.
It's not happening. If he gets out of the first round,
good lord, there's
something wrong. Then it's like, oh, okay,
it's a character thing. Then maybe.
I don't know. I think it is a talent thing. I think they just go, because by all reports, he's got everything else. He's got the intangibles. He's got the leadership. He's got the character. He's got the no, I know, but he's grown up around football. He's grown up.
Yeah.
He knows what he has to do, but I've kind of always my thing has always been, if the dad's an all-timer, the kid's never gonna be. No, it's just hard to live up to that. And the reverse is opposite. If the dad was a just miss, the kid's gonna be an all-timer. Because
they can never be good at both of them.
Because if the dad's an all-timer, the kid isn't pushed enough to do it and doesn't feel like he has to do it as much because dad's an all-timer and I saw how quote unquote easy it was. And if the dad just missed, he pushes the kid to live vicariously through him. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Well, we will see how all this shakes out this Thursday. I am so excited. Draft is one of my favorite days of the year. And I am looking forward to seeing what the hell happens this Thursday night.
And Friday and Saturday.
And Friday and Saturday. Most
we're not mock drafting those.
We're not mock drafting. We don't have the commitment to do that. Con, where can we find you?
Twitter at the King Con, Letterboxd, just search my name, and then nothing to plug right now. But you might see me in Chance facing off in something.
You might see it at some point. Jacob, where can we find you?
You guys can find me watching the Lakers beat the Timberwolves right now, and screaming about the NBA over the next 2 months, while also screaming about the NFL. Pretty much everywhere at Jacob London or at Weird Accent. And tomorrow I'm going to be screaming and yelling because I get to go and spend the day watching shitty movies. So yay!
He's doing a Snow White Minecraft double feature.
Oh, is that what you're doing tomorrow?
Everyone's favorite.
Free tickets.
I have free tickets.
Free. I don't
go.
Even free. I don't think you get your money's worth.
And I got nothing better to do. So
there you go.
You can find me on Twitter, Chance_91. You want to hear me talk about a shitty movie? We should be The Last Airbender on the podcast. That happened. That happened. And we have our next one coming out very soon on The Prince of Egypt. And thank you for watching. And we don't know when we'll see you next. We'll be for sure doing something after the draft. I don't know about Darren, but definitely something after the draft. We'll see. Anyways, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.